Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the grand finale of FITFAM. I go by the name Revo, the Tonga Gent, and I'm accompanied by the fam. What's happening, guys?
Hey.
We here.
Hey, I'm Respect. I'm a fitness trainer by profession. And again, the purpose of the show is to give you accurate, factual information that will help you on your fitness journey.
Sikhambata, personal trainer by profession, and yeah, we're here at the team to help you, to share that extra bit of knowledge. So, hope it's worth it. I hope you like it, and yeah, do the right thing.
Yeah, man. So, on today's episode, we're going to be diving a little deeper on the gym products. So, we're talking supplements, we're talking steroids, we're talking nutrition, food. This might take forever. It might be a very long one, but as per protocol, we're gonna try to keep it short.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I would like to know personally, what happens when a woman takes steroids?
I mean, I don't know anyone or any woman who does know.
Okay.
I've never even considered it because I don't know. I guess any like performance enhancing thing I've ever thought of never went beyond like whey protein, or at some point like I don't know what else. You take BCAAs, you know pre-workout, creatine. I have loved creatine. I don't want to lie, but like steroids, I've never used them, but I've had like people approach me like in numerous times asking me if I've used steroids. And at first I used to really like get offended. At some point I was like, if I am like eating well and training, so hard and all of this stuff, and someone is like, do you take steroids? I mean, to a certain extent it kind of invalidates your work. But to a certain extent, if I'm like, if you think I look like this, and if you think like I get help from like steroids and stuff like that, I must be doing something right, because people who I've like, people like, oh no, this person takes steroids. I've been like, that's intense. That person looks intense. But no, I've never taken steroids, nor do I know anyone who takes steroids, so I can't really speak on that yet.
Alright, let's ask Mr. bro. Like you in the gym, man.
We must share our friends.
We must share our friends, man. 24/7, 365, bro. We see the ladies, big quads, big calves, big pretty much everything.
Yeah.
What's your chat, bro? Like, what's your experience with the posed question?
Women and juice, they like to call it.
Oros.
Oros. The staff. The vitamins. I know a few, but it's not on that personal level where you could ask in detail and so what does it do. I've heard this is true, but obviously you see a few, and luckily enough, me myself being in the industry, you see a lot of things. You see a person come into gym, they train for a couple of weeks, and then the next month they've made gains and you're just on some, okay. So you can't assume, can't speculate, 100%. You can't judge, because you don't know what they're doing.
You might have an idea, though.
Might have an idea, but you don't really know. and as Respect said, just to throw that in someone's face, it does to a certain degree discredit what they've done, and it sort of makes them feel some type of way. But my thing is, the people who genuinely ask that question, you realize that they know nothing about steroids.
Yeah.
So it's just a word that they keep throwing around, like, you must take steroids.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so a person who takes steroids
Looks like what?
looks like what? Looks like me for the next person. Like, okay, so they don't diet well, they don't train hard, they don't like plan everything to the T. They just wake up in the morning and then they like they pop a steroid. And also to understand their mentality when they throw that question. Like if they say, yeah, you must take steroids, or this person, nah, don't know how this person uses steroids. And it says, what is your understanding of steroids? Because a lot of people, when you actually listen to them, you're like, okay, so then now.
Yeah.
We are big B's, Angela. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's a magic pill.
It's a magic pill.
Wake
We're
up
like,
and
yes. Woo, Popeye vibes.
Yeah. But I
Shem.
I think really the question of like, you know, like assuming, or the thing of assuming that someone takes steroids, it's never really, I don't think it's ever about steroids. Some people are usually like trying to fish so that they can figure out is this person really that hardworking, right? Is this person really that hardworking? Is it possible for me to do this? Because to some people it is absolutely inconceivable that someone can work hard and reach their goals, maybe supplement with like 1 or 2 supplements and really reach their peak and be strong and all those things. It's inconceivable to some other people. So it's like, oh shucks. But then if you tell them, no, bro, I just eat well and I take care of myself, it's like, oh shucks. They feel like I haven't done anything. I must be doing something wrong, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good point. So, sorry to catch you there, Rico.
Yeah.
Good point that Respect is mentioning. Is it not then that when people ask this question or assume such, that they've already sort of what do we call that those different levels of life?
Yeah.
They've already sort of put you on this level,
Yes.
and they sort of have put themselves on a certain level,
Yeah.
and they're trying to make themselves feel better and say, well, the only reason why this person looks like that is because they take steroids.
Yeah.
So me looking
Skinny.
the way I do
Yeah.
is okay because I don't take steroids.
Yeah.
So it could be that too.
Yeah,
Like, you're like, okay, let me just make myself feel better.
Definitely.
This one, this
Yeah.
thing is not real. It's taking steroids.
Yeah, I think usually I tend to like try to decipher where the person is coming from, because like sometimes it's never really like at first value certain things are never just that particular thing. It's just that people want to make excuses for not working as hard, for not being disciplined, and like, oh no, this person looks like this because they are on A, B, C, D, or whatever. Whereas, like, you don't need to invalidate my work and my hard work. You can always have like a healthy conversation with me and ask. There's like you've said before, there's a way that you approach people and ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, and you like okay, Rivo, I like the way you look. So, what's your eating plan? Like, you know, what's your eating plan like? What does your recovery day look like? What does your supplementation look like? Before you can assume that people take steroids, because it does. I mean, I personally am very like strong-willed and strong, like minded, whatever. I don't care about the BS, you know, like around my training or whatever. I actually don't care what anyone thinks because I'm happy. But you'll find people that haven't reached that mental, you know, strength yet. You'll be like, you ask questions like that, and people just feel like, you know, you validate their work, and so that sucks.
Do you want to know what I think with this whole chat with regards to choose steroids, right?
Yeah.
People ask this question because they know the lifestyle of gymming. Gymming is hard. You know, it's straining on the body. You know, as much as it has like benefits and whatnot, but the truth behind the matter is that it's a lot of work. So with that being said, when someone asks you this question, is because, well, personally, I feel like it's because they're trying to shy away from putting in the work, number one. Number two, shortcuts, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like making money. People think making money, if you just wake up and you've got the money. There's a process that goes into it.
Yeah.
So people understand that there's a process, but they try to run away from it. So you get the questions like, are you on steroids or do you sell steroids? Merely because they're scared of going through that actual process.
Yeah.
Because think about it, when you train, you have the side effects of pain.
Yeah.
There's nothing as painful as a post-leg day, where you can't even sit on your toilet and take a shit. It's painful.
It's rough.
You know what I'm saying? So, in my perspective, people will ask about that mainly because they're trying to run away from putting in the hard yards.
Yeah.
Right? But with that being said, there's an element of not having knowledge about these things.
Yeah.
If you do, you have the wrong knowledge. Right? And primarily, it's irritating. Personally, for me, if you come up to me at the gym like, oh, you want to do, I mean, I'm head. You know? Because like people that are perceived to be on performance enhancers are ultimately the biggest, the meanest, the most nicest looking people in the gym. So if you're gonna approach me and be like, you on?
It's a compliment.
You know, it's
a compliment.
To
Definitely, it's a compliment. If you think like I must be doing that, and I look the way I'm like, wow.
Basically putting in
if my body can do this naturally, imagine what I could do. I'm not saying I would take it, but imagine, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, I think there's a way that you phrase certain things. I mean, I think in the fitness community, more often than not, at least in my experience, people are open to talking about things. But it's a matter in which that you approach certain things, and that makes a difference, right? Yeah.
With that being said, you've obviously dissected or spoken about, you know, juice, steroids.
Yeah.
It's a conversation you can have for like the entire day, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's important for us to have said what we've said.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' take on like products, gym products, like stuff that you can actually buy off the shelf, right? Do you think it works? Do you think it's a placebo effect? Do you think it's just one of those magic pills as people assume, or magic powders?
Yeah.
Because for me personally, I take whey protein, right? And I take it in a sequence of I think 3 months. So I go like 90 days. So it should be 30 days, 30 days, 30 days when I cut, right? In those 30 days, in those 90 days, the amazing factor for me personally is the less pain.
Yeah.
It helps me because now after you do like a workout, leg, chest, whatever it is, the next day you know you're bound to get some pain. But now let's just say for argument's sake, if I wasn't taking away, I would feel the pain 100%.
Yeah.
But since I'm taking away, it's like a 40-50.
Yeah.
I can feel that yesterday was a crazy session, but because of what I'm taking, it's like okay, no, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So personally, I feel like there are some products that do the job, right?
Yeah.
But also, I feel like there's just products that are just taking up shelf space.
No. I mean, like, listen. Definitely. I love having access to certain products, right? But I'm not the biggest advocate for supplementation, right? Because for me, and this is what I know to be true, and how my body responds to things. For instance, I haven't taken a pre-workout supplement in probably over 2 years, simply because the more when I became a trainer, I made it like my job to know how, food science and how it affects your body and all of that stuff. So for me, my pre-workout is oats, guys. I'll have oats. I have oats every single day. And it's not because it's like the best thing, I love it sometimes I don't feel like having that oats, but I have the discipline to have it because I know my body requires from me to have like my glycogen stores proper, to have like my carbs in there. So it's a thing of, this is the energy. So once you understand how your body works and how it uses food to function in the gym and outside of the gym, then you are winning 100%. So I mean, do I think pre-workout works? Yeah. When I used to take it, I dilute it, like, which ended up being a waste of money because I used to dilute it because it gave me like heart palpitation and I wasn't comfortable. It gave me the tingles, and I hate feeling things like I hate unnatural feelings too. I don't like it. But I mean, most people just. But like most people, I think. It works for others. For others, it's more of a psychological thing. So it's like a placebo effect. So like So that's my take on supplementation. When I'm taking supplements, I'm probably like the only 2 supplements that I can advocate for is whey protein, and I've taken creatine before. Guys, there was a time when I was taking creatine and I was training heavy, and you could tell that I could tell that I trained the day before because I can feel like the pump or whatever. But it's like it just made it numb. I couldn't feel anything. So recovery I had the energy, and recovery was like, it was to a certain extent that I could train legs 3 times a week if I wanted to. Because recovery wise, I cannot take away from what it does.
Yeah.
But do you need supplements? If you're eating a balanced diet, you do not need to be taking supplements, because just the other day someone DM'd me and they're like, I'd like to lose weight, can you recommend what supplements I should take? And I was like, don't stress about supplements, stress about nutrition. You know, if you want to lose weight, be in a caloric deficit. But when I say be in a caloric deficit, I'm not saying don't eat carbs, don't eat a certain food group. You need to be getting all the nutrients right you can get. But there is a strategy in which you do that gives you long-term results, right? So for me, and I think the way that supplements are marketed is to such an extent that it's not sustainable for an everyday person. It's not sustainable to say, I must have a pre-workout, a whey protein, casein, all of these things. Guys, we live in like a developing country. Not everyone has that, and I think it tends to be intimidating for someone coming into the fitness game, because you're like, the person or the influencer that I follow takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 supplements, and I can't even afford one. But you can afford to buy yourself some brown rice, you can afford to buy yourself some chicken, you can afford to buy yourself some veggies, you can buy yourself oats, and you can see results, sometimes even better results, right? So supplements, they have their pros and cons. I'm for them, but with a certain purpose. I don't just buy something because of the hype or because the market is so saturated, I feel like. Or someone is DMing me saying, I have a perfect opportunity for you, you could make money, or you can just sell this to your clients. I don't do that. I really don't do that. So that's my take on it.
See if I was in chat with supplementation. I know you love pre-workouts.
I love it. I love it. So it's interesting to listen to respect, and you can respect restaurants on it. It's for me personally, I've used supplements for the longest time. Me and pre-workouts are like this.
Yeah.
Me and protein, mass builders are like this. Yeah. Not so much whey protein, but mass builders are like this.
Yeah.
So the nice thing about it is that when clients ask, or normal gym members, they say, should I take supplements? And I make it a point that I always tell them, I'm like, I use supplements myself. I've been using supplements for the longest time, but I have found the ones that work for me. Okay. There's so many different products on the market out there that you never really know what to take.
Yeah.
Like, it's confusing. But I always say that, as the name supplement is, or states, you're supplementing your diet.
Yeah.
So, as Respect said, that we lead busy, stressful lives. Not everyone can have the chance to have a packed meal and have time out to have that or whatever. They're on the move. That's when the supplement could potentially come into play. But it's having said that, you need to understand why you're taking the supplement. And we also do need to add that most of the products, and this is what I personally tell my clients, most of the products that are on the market right now are not tested.
Yeah.
So which means someone can sell you a whey protein, and then you take that thing, meanwhile it's not whey protein inside. So I tell people that, I'm like, I take it, I use supplements myself, but I take it on faith. Like I hope whatever I'm taking
is what
is what it is. So you can't now take supplements and think, no, this is gonna happen or that's gonna happen. Or it could happen because of the placebo effect, but you need to be mindful before you set foot onto that supplement stage or onto that supplement room and say that I want to be taking supplements. Be mindful. Don't just.
Yeah. I think like just being purposeful. I think this should just be overall like your the way that we all approach things. Whether you're training or you're eating or you're recovering, whatever. Be purposeful and understanding what your goal is. Like that's very important because you can't say, oh, I see that CJ takes a muscular, but my goal is to lose weight or my goal is to be lean. It's not gonna work. You'll be pissed off at him like, oh no, now I'm like 10 kgs more because I've taken this supplement and the goal was always to do A, B, and C. Because like my goal right now is to be lean. And so the supplements that I'm gravitating towards is like a whey protein isolate, right? Because all I want is the protein only. I'm not trying to, add extra things that will actually take me 10 steps back. That's not the goal. So I would say when it comes to supplements, if you've decided that this is something that you definitely want to do, be purposeful, understand your goals, and go to these health shops. Because I know when you go to like, can I just say it?
A discount.
Yes. When you go to discount, there are usually knowledgeable sales reps that will help you. I will not lie. I've never gone to any discount where there was a supplement specialty, so to speak, and I told them what my goal is, and they like led me in the wrong direction. It's always been, okay, so understand that this is this and this and this. And also understand most products or supplements, I think when they initially started, they were designing supplements for men because that was their target market. So like when you go to buy supplements, be careful that just because it's cheaper, it's not always like good for you. Also understand that most supplement brands will have only a few products that don't have, unless you're doing just whey protein, like that's a safer option. But everything, these mass gainers and all of these other things will have testosterone in it. And you take it as a female, because I've made that mistake once. The gains were insane, but the side effects, oh my god. Like, it's crazy. Like, naturally, I'm a hairy person, guys, just putting it out there. But this time, I felt like I was going to become a gorilla or something. Like, it was intense. So, like, that's why, like, I'm very, like, careful. I research everything before I buy supplements so that I know what's in it, the components of that particular make or whatever is in it. Then I buy that, and again, take it on faith because
we don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know, but you hope for the best, right?
But just to add to that, going back to obviously like the use of products and steroids, right? We can't mention these things without speaking about the side effects.
Yeah.
Right. Personally, I've taken steroids before, and the side effects are they trash. Number one. But before I jump onto that, I want to speak about how I was when I was on the product, right? In those 10 to 12 weeks, I was amazing in whatever it was that I was doing. I was lifting, whatever, swimming, whatever the case was, right? But then, what happened after was my biggest problem. Is that the strength, the endurance, everything that I had in those 12 weeks, I did not get afterwards, which simply meant that I was going back to what? Stage 1 or even less than stage 1 if there is such a thing. So all the work I had to do prior to stage 1, it literally went to waste, right? And then for me, it just made it like, what's the term? Null and void. Like, what's the point? Because you do all of this only to lose it and go back to something that was even worse than like how you started, right? That's basically the pros to some extent. When it came to the side effects, in my understanding, I can be corrected here, But the side effects of this, it's gonna vary from person to person, right? There's going bald, there's sweating. But for me, one thing I can solely speak for is injuries, right? And the reason I say so, if you understand the dynamics behind performance enhancers, right?
Yeah.
It's to help your muscle, your body recover in a way and grow in a particular way. So you've been designed to grow at a particular pace. So if you're going to take an enhancement drug, right, your muscle is going to grow at a pace that it's not designed to grow at. And remember, there's like the body is made out of tissue, there's also cartilage, there's your joints and pretty much everything. So these products focus on the muscle primarily, right? What about your joints? What about everything else? So for me, I felt like it increased in me getting injuries. Maybe because my muscle is not mature. It might look big from the outside, but on the inside, I feel like it's not as tough and it hasn't gone through as much tension as it's supposed to. Right? Hence I say it comes with side effects. And it might not be something you see in the moment, you see over the years that because even the injuries, like I literally started getting injured with weird stuff, not necessarily heavy training or anything. I could have taken a wrong step and twisted my ankle, boom, tendon torn or whatever. And you're like, but how? And then you go back, you're like, you know what, it's called that thing. So personally, I feel like in the moment it's amazing, right? But then I think we spoke about it in the previous episodes a couple of weeks back when we were like, this is more a life journey, right? It's not destination based. So if you're doing it to try and get or look better for tomorrow, then you're in the wrong business, right? If you're not going to be able to take care of your body as if it's not going to be the one that's going to take care of you for the rest of your life, then it's the wrong business. That's how I feel personally about it. I don't know about you guys. What's your chat? Have you experienced side effects? You said with the protein, it got messy there. You look like a gorilla. See, so what's the chat?
Thank God that was years ago. I was young, guys. I was. Let me just say, this was before I was a trainer and before I learned and researched into, particularly because I used to be generally with the training. It's the nutrition part of it that was always touch and go. So obviously when you become a trainer, you start understanding that this and this. Fitness and nutrition go hand in hand, so you invest time into learning more about that.
And I think that is the main point that you can take out of anything. It doesn't matter. Information is key. You need to learn. You need to ask. You need just be open and say, "Hey, I don't know. Help me." So for me personally, I have been privileged enough to be in the midst of very informative people who know their stuff. Like one of my close mates, when it comes to steroids, he will explain stuff and it's like, you'll experience this, no, and then this will happen, and this will happen. So I've also taken myself. So when he was then able to experience the different levels, you're like, okay, I felt that. And then not on my side. And then so, because I was asking the relevant questions, hopefully, I was able to get the relevant information back. But it boils down to the fact that you need to ask. Don't assume supplements will make you lose weight or gain weight or become faster or slower. But anyway, don't assume. Ask. As you guys were talking, I remember this one incident. A few years ago where I had an arms session. It was a Friday, so I had muffins and coffee before the session. So I was like, did arms, veins were popping and in a vest. And then this guy asked me, he's like, yo, what do you take, bro? You look really pumped. Which pre-workout do you use? I'm like, any pre-workout is good. I'm like, just don't mix it with water. Sniff it.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I said, guys, I said this and then I just walked off. As if nothing happened. I wasn't even in the conversation.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, but wait.
misled the poor child.
And for that I am deeply sorry, because I saw him like 45 minutes to an hour later.
Is this person still alive?
I hope so. I saw him about 45 minutes to an hour later.
Yeah.
His eyes,
Bloodshot.
They were bloodshot. His face, he was red. It's like, yeah, bro.
Straight to the brain.
It really works. I looked around. I'm like, there's no management around here. I'm out. Because if this person passes out, it's all on me. And I was a trainer there, and they would be like, yeah, no, that trainer said that you do this. So, as much as we, it's funny, we can laugh about it. But like, imagine if he died.
Yeah.
Imagine if he died. That was all on me. So, like, let's ask and not have people like we see who's gonna sort of give you the wrong stuff because they just wanna they're just saying things to say and then like.
But I think in the same breath of asking, right, always take things with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Right. Because in that moment, bro, I can't really say much. It was back then, right? But then he trusted your input.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but why would you sniff it? But even him, why?
Because the biggest guy in the gym said,
the gym said sniff
right?
it.
So, to the viewers, I'm saying take things with a pinch of salt. If you're gonna read it on Google, if you're gonna actually speak to a, like, I think validate, seek more confirmations about the information that you're receiving.
Yeah.
If so and so, also, like, what's the term? Rationalize,
Yeah.
In a situation like that, you really think that sniffing, this item is made to be ingested, right? So you should also use your common sense and be like, if I sniff this thing now, I'm so much putting Pablo mission, like, rationalize the information that you get so that you don't find yourself in situations where now it's working,
like I have a clear picture of his face. And it's like, bro, it really works.
Yo.
I'm like, yeah, I sniffed it.
I'm
out.
When you said it, were you joking? Or
I was joking. Like, oh, yeah.
I think another thing we should touch base with is the costs of fitness and health in general, right? Because we've spoken about products, we've spoken about steroids. We've pretty much dabbled with nutrition, right?
Yeah.
Fitness and health is expensive. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, healthy food is expensive.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like it's a bit disingenuous, man. It should be the other way around. But yeah, I scroll up on Friday. Basically, pricing, like from a pricing standpoint, there's products where they're advertised in a way that, you must get this, there's certain teas or whatever. It's usually like comes in like
combo.
In combos, right?
Yeah.
But then if you look at the pricing stature of those products, they can go up to like 3K, 4K.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to maintain that
on a
monthly basis. Simply stating that in a year you're spending anything.
Yeah, but you
can buy a house.
You can buy a house, you can have a deposit for a mortgage for your house.
So what's the chat? Like, how can we minimize, or how can we help the next person, be in a position where they actually make valid decisions, based on the type of products they want to buy, the type of products they should buy, or even the type of nutrition, because it's expensive. And in most cases, you find people telling you,
yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? So, but that shouldn't be something that takes you away from trying to make yourself better.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to that point of ask.
Yeah.
Find someone who knows what they're doing. You have wonderful people like your dietitian, nutritionists, all these people that can sort of help you out to a certain extent.
Okay.
Where you don't need to embark on the wrong train and you are spending thousands and thousands and not getting anything for it. So it's all about asking and just hope that the information that you're getting is legit. But obviously you need to now be mindful of the sources that you use for your information.
Yeah. No, I
I think
that's,
for me that's it.
yeah. For me, I mean, I definitely like know that there are benefits to taking supplements, but there are some brands that market like the way everything is structured is like it's like if no one can sustain it financially, it makes no sense. Because if I'm gonna be buying that, I might as well go to like premium, I don't know, like fisheries and buy salmon and buy all these things that I know will not only just do one thing. So I don't think you should be having like a protein shake for breakfast, a tea, a toner, or whatever else these combos have. It's not sustainable, but also from like a nutrition standpoint, you're not getting natural nutrients that your body is supposed to be getting. Guys, and I know like costs and finances, you're not on the same field or the same thing. I get that, but it is possible for most people to afford oats, right? You can get yourself some peanut butter, you can get yourself whatever other healthy fats you can afford, and you have a really great breakfast, which is not just protein only. It's all these things that you probably don't even know you are getting from your breakfast. Rather than just buying something. I mean, to be fair, if you can afford to buy those combos that they, these brands are selling, you can afford to eat healthy,
Clean.
you can afford to eat clean, you can afford to have variety, because I think the thing that throws people off is lack of variety when it comes to eating healthy, and we think you must just eat chicken breast, dry chicken breast with like rice and broccoli. Guys, my meals don't look anything like that. I eat my favorite foods. I have literally everything that I love, but I make everything myself, and I opt for healthier choices. So I think if you're still starting out, start focusing on your nutrition. Like focus on the food, find the food that you like, and find the healthier alternatives for that. Supplements should really come in when you are not getting enough of something from your eating plan. But also, if it's a cost thing, logically it makes no sense to say, I can afford chicken, but I'll go buy whey protein. Because supplements these days are expensive. Guys, I went to this camp and I wanted whey isolate. This tub was 1,200 rands. And for me, that's like a big chunk of my groceries per month.
That's gross.
And so the decision was, I'm going to prioritize my nutrition. I'm going to buy as much protein products as I can that I think are healthy for me, that I can, because I want to be able to sustain certain things. I want to like take isolate today, but like I don't have like this and this and that. It doesn't make sense. So focus on your nutrition first, then supplements come in later, especially if you're still starting out. Because unless you're trying to compete in some fitness competition or whatever, like you don't need supplements. Not to that extent when your influencers are like, I take 7 products each day, and this is my body now. I mean, if I'm buying something like a combo that costs me over 3K, guys, even over 1.5K. This body better work out by itself. It better feed me, like that stuff. It better work.
No pain.
But you can't tell me that I still have to go into the gym and put in the hard work. I still have to eat healthy, and in addition to that, I must take your product. Oh man. No.
See you, bro.
For me, it's too much.
Okay. In closing. What's your chat like with gym products? Basically, summarizing everything we've just spoken about now, like to someone that's listening to us right now or watching us rather, what are you saying to them?
I'm saying get the proper knowledge before you buy supplements. I'm not gonna say people should not use supplements, and I'm not gonna say people should use supplements. I use supplements. For the next person, it might not make sense. But ask the questions, inform yourself, get a proper diet, tweak your own diet, make it that a healthier option or healthier version, but that you'll only be able to do if you ask the right questions and you speak to the right people.
Okay.
So inform yourself. Inform yourself as well as you can, and then take the decision from there.
Yeah.
Respect. Any closing words for the viewers?
I just want everyone to know that there are pros and cons. I'm not arguing, that there aren't any, whatever. But again, going back to it, be purposeful. Know what you want, know what the goal is, and what you need to do to achieve it. Just because supplements are there doesn't mean you must just take them. Just because everyone you see is taking it. You might even when you actually sit down and do your research or ask for from expertise, you might find out that you actually don't need them, and that you might need them because there are certain benefits, right? So I'm not saying that don't take them or take them, but for me personally, I definitely lean towards nutrition because I know what that's done for me. But the next person again could be different. So yeah.
Shout out. Alright, good people. First and foremost, just like to say thank you for watching and obviously supporting us till this point in time. Really appreciate your time, obviously, that has been spent. If you have any topics or any comments in relation to what we've been speaking about in the past couple of weeks, please do comment in the comment section below. Other than that, continue to support, continue to share and like our content. From me, people, it's on a jet. Already, I don't say goodbye. I'll catch you on the other one. Please do look out for season 2. It's going to be even harder than what we've been giving you. Hi, otherwise, FITFAM.
Alright, thank you so much guys for joining us each and every week. We appreciate the support and the love. Like you said, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the other topics that you'd like us to touch on. I respect, and we hope to see you soon.
Amen.
As they said, please do comment, please do suggest. We are here for you, and if you can help us to help you, we would really appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Danko.
One more thing, Tonga Gents, apparel available. WhatsApp please, 079-127-6861. I'm out. Nice.
Hey, guys, we did it. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.